There's a moment in every person's life when they feel the full weight of the world pressing down on them. A moment when the pain is so thick, so consuming, it feels like it's tearing you apart from the inside. The wound is deep, and for a long time, you walk through life as if it never happened. You bury the hurt, you ignore it, you move on, but the damage remains. It festers in the quiet spaces of your soul, in the corners of your heart where no one can see. You don't show it. You don't speak about it. And the more you try to run from it, the stronger it gets. But here's the truth. Emotional freedom begins the moment you stop running and say, I was hurt. Not when you pretend it didn't happen, not when you shove it down, mask it with distractions, or wear a false smile. It begins the moment you admit the truth of your experience, the truth of the wound. It begins when you finally stop lying to yourself, stop pretending to be okay, and face the pain you've carried for far too long. Only then do you give yourself permission to heal. This isn't just about acknowledging hurt in a passing way. It's about owning it, about looking at it directly without fear or shame, and saying to the world and to yourself, yes, I was hurt. That is the key. That is the unlock to the door of liberation. The moment you admit you're hurt is the moment you free yourself. But why is this admission so crucial? Why is this moment of honesty with yourself the foundation of emotional freedom? It's because for so long, you've been running from the very thing that holds your power. The pain you've avoided is the very thing that can transform you. Pain is not your enemy. Denial is. Pain, when faced with courage, becomes the bridge to transformation. Denial, on the other hand, keeps you trapped in a cycle of suffering, unaware of your own potential to heal. But the moment you say, I was hurt, you acknowledge that you are human, that you are real, that you have suffered, and that in that suffering you have the power to rise. The weight of denial, how unacknowledged hurt controls your life. Denial is a force, a silent, insidious force. It quietly drives your actions, your thoughts, and even your relationships. It convinces you that ignoring your wounds will protect you. It whispers that if you can just bury the pain deep enough, you'll forget about it, that it will go away on its own. But it doesn't. It can't. You can't outrun your own emotional reality. When you deny your hurt, you build invisible walls around yourself. These walls are made of shame, guilt, and fear. You close off parts of your heart, parts of your mind, parts of your soul in an attempt to avoid feeling the weight of the pain. You become disconnected, not just from others, but from yourself. The more you deny your emotions, the more disconnected you become from the person you are meant to be, and the deeper the pain sinks. In this denial, you convince yourself that it's better to be numb, better to pretend everything is fine, even when it's not. But that numbness takes its toll. It's a slow burn, a steady corrosion of your spirit, your sense of self, your ability to connect to the world in an authentic way. You stop feeling not just the hurt, but the joy, the passion, and the wonder that life offers. The truth is, the longer you deny your hurt, the longer you allow it to control you. You become a prisoner to your own silence, trapped in a cage of your own making. The emotional freedom you seek cannot exist while denial is in charge. You cannot heal what you refuse to face. The courage to face the wound, confronting the pain you've avoided, this power in admitting that you've been hurt. In fact, it's the most courageous thing you can do. It requires strength to face what you've avoided for so long. It requires the courage to stand in your truth, in the fullness of your vulnerability, and say, yes, I was hurt, and I am no longer afraid to face it. This is the moment of reckoning, the moment when you stop pretending, stop running, and finally take ownership of your own emotional reality. It is not an easy thing to do. It's not something that happens overnight. It's a process. But it starts with a simple act of saying, I was hurt, and truly meaning it. To confront the pain means to acknowledge it for what it is, without minimizing, without downplaying, without attempting to make it seem less than it truly was. It's not about making excuses for others or justifying what was done to you. It's about recognizing that the hurt happened and that it matters. It matters because it shaped you, it molded you, it impacted your worldview, and until you face it, it will continue to influence you in ways you don't even realize. But here's where the magic happens. Once you face it, once you speak it aloud, you take away its power. No longer is the hurt a silent force that controls you from the shadows. Now you are in control. You have brought it into the light, and in that light it can no longer rule over you. The path to healing: acceptance, action, and transformation. Once you admit that you've been hurt, the path to healing begins, but it doesn't stop with admission. That's just the first step. The real work comes in transforming that pain into power. The real work comes in accepting that healing is not a linear process. There will be ups and downs, moments of clarity and moments of confusion. But as long as you continue to walk forward, you will emerge stronger. Acceptance is key. Accept that you were hurt. Accept that it happened. And just as importantly, accept that you have the right to heal, that the healing is yours to claim. When you accept the hurt, you stop fighting against it, and you start using it to fuel your growth. The pain is no longer a weight that drags you down. It becomes a source of strength that propels you forward. Healing is also a choice. It's a decision you make each day to release the past, to stop living as a victim of what has been done to you. The path to healing is not paved with time alone, but with conscious action. It requires you to be intentional about the way you live, the way you speak to yourself, and the way you move through the world. It requires discipline, not just in taking care of your body, but in tending to your mind and soul. But transformation comes when you use the lessons of the hurt, when you allow it to refine you, to elevate you. The most powerful people are often those who have experienced the most profound pain. Why? Because they chose to transform that pain. They chose to use it as a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. They chose to learn from their wounds, to grow through them, to become the person they were always meant to be. The power of forgiveness, reclaiming your peace. Forgiveness is often misunderstood. It's not about letting others off the hook for what they did. It's not about excusing their actions or pretending that what happened was okay. Forgiveness is about freeing yourself. It's about releasing the hold that the hurt has on you and choosing peace over pain. Forgiveness is the final act of emotional freedom. When you forgive, you are not saying that what was done to you was right. You are saying that you are no longer going to allow that hurt to control your future. You are choosing to no longer carry the burden of anger, resentment, or bitterness. Forgiveness is your gift to yourself, the ultimate act of releasing the past so that you can step fully into your present and future. Forgiveness doesn't happen overnight. It's not something that can be forced or rushed. It's a journey, just like healing. But the moment you decide to forgive is the moment you reclaim your peace. It's the moment you say, I am done carrying this weight. I am ready to live in the freedom I deserve. Embracing your true power, from hurt to healing, from victim to victor. When you say, I was hurt, you reclaim your power. You stop being a victim of your circumstances, of your past, of other people's actions. You step into your true power, knowing that what happened to you does not define you. It is a part of your story, yes, but is not the entirety of your story. The pain, the hurt, the disappointments, they are all pieces of your journey, but you are not defined by them. You are defined by how you rise from them, by how you transform them into strength, into wisdom, into compassion. In this moment, you stop being controlled by the past. You stop letting it dictate your present, your future, your potential. You are free to live authentically, free to create the life you desire, and free to become the person you are meant to be. Emotional freedom begins the moment you stop running from your pain and choose to embrace it. In that embrace, you find your true power, your deepest strength, and the key to your healing. You are not defined by what was done to you. You are defined by how you choose to move forward. And now you are free. You have reclaimed your peace. You have rewritten the story. You have taken back control. There is a fundamental truth in life that many overlook. You are the storyteller of your own existence. The chapters you've lived, the twists and turns of your journey are written by you. Yes, the circumstances, the people, the events, they may have shaped you, but they do not control you. The narrative of your life is yours to write. Every word, every action, every decision contributes to the direction your story will take. The moment you take back the pen and begin writing with intention, you step into your power in ways you never imagined possible. What if, instead of looking back at your life with regret, you saw it as the foundation on which to build something greater? What if you no longer saw yourself as a passive participant, but as the architect of your reality? The moment you reclaim your narrative, the world opens up to you in ways you could never have expected. You have the power to choose the role you play in your own story. Are you the victim, forever trapped by what has been done to you? Or are you the hero, rising from the ashes of your past, stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever before? The choice is yours. And the moment you realize that your story is not defined by what happened to you, but by what you decide to do with it, you unlock your true potential. This is not about denying the pain, the difficulty, the hardship. It's about acknowledging them, learning from them, and using them as the stepping stones that elevate you to your next level. Your story doesn't end with your hurt. It begins there. Your strength, your courage, your resilience, these are the qualities that will shape your future. The power of reclaiming your narrative is not about erasing the past. It's about empowering yourself to decide how the story continues. You don't have to be stuck in a loop of regret, bitterness, or sorrow. You can turn the page and write a future that reflects who you truly are, not who you were told you should be. Transforming pain into power. The art of alchemical healing. There is an ancient principle called alchemy, the transformation of base metals into gold. It's an art that transcends mere chemistry. It's the art of turning something worthless into something invaluable, of transmuting pain into power, fear into courage, despair into hope. This process is not just for mystics in ancient times. It's a process that you can harness in your own life, starting now. The art of emotional alchemy is the ability to take the most painful experiences, those deep wounds, the scars you carry, the grief, the anger, the shame, and turn them into the fuel for your growth. It's the process of using your most difficult moments as raw material for personal transformation. You may have been hurt, you may have suffered, but now the question is, what will you do with that pain? Will you let it define you as a victim, or will you transmute it into strength and wisdom? The answer is up to you. The human capacity to turn pain into purpose is limitless. When you learn to work with your emotions instead of against them, when you learn to transmute your sorrow into fuel for your ambition, you step into a new dimension of power. Your pain no longer controls you. You control your pain. Every setback becomes an opportunity for reinvention. Every heartache becomes the seed of empathy, of resilience, of an unshakable inner strength. The alchemy of emotional transformation is in your hands, and the goal that it creates is the life of fulfillment, empowerment, and peace you have always dreamed of. The power of presence. Living fully in the now, there is a transformative power in presence, in living fully in the moment. The past is gone, the future is not yet here, and all that truly matters is the now. So often, we spend our lives trapped in the past, replaying old conversations, rehashing old hurts, revisiting old wounds, and then projecting those shadows into the future, worrying about what might happen, what might go wrong. But in doing so, we miss the life that is happening right in front of us. To be truly free, you must be present. You must be present with your feelings, your thoughts, your actions, and the world around you. It is in this presence that your true power lies. When you live fully in the present, you are no longer haunted by the ghosts of your past, nor are you controlled by the fears of your future. You are simply here, and that is where the magic happens. Presence allows you to feel, it allows you to experience life in its entirety, without avoidance, without distraction. It allows you to show up for yourself and for others in the most authentic way possible. And in that authenticity, you find freedom. The moment you stop living in the shadows of your past or in the fear of your future, you step into the fullness of who you are. You become an active participant in your own life. You stop waiting for permission to live. You stop hiding from your emotions, and you begin to experience the world with clarity, with courage, and with joy. The mastery of self, taking ownership of your emotional world. True emotional freedom is about mastery, not control in the sense of suppressing your feelings or denying your experiences, but mastery in the sense that you own your emotional world. Your emotions do not control you. You control them. The greatest mistake many people make is in thinking that they are at the mercy of their feelings, that their emotional state dictates their actions, their decisions, their relationships. But the truth is, you are not your emotions. You are the one who experiences them. You are the one who chooses how to respond to them. To master your emotions is not to repress them or deny them. It is to understand them, to accept them, and to choose how to respond to them. It is to recognize that you have the power to change your emotional state at any moment, that you can choose peace over anxiety, love over fear, joy over sorrow. The mastery of self is the realization that you are the one who governs your emotional world, not the other way around. When you take ownership of your emotions, you stop being a passive participant in your own life. You stop reacting to external events, people, and situations. You begin to respond from a place of inner strength, clarity, and emotional intelligence. You become the master of your own emotional landscape, and in doing so, you create a life that is aligned with your highest purpose. Embracing vulnerability, the strength of being open. Vulnerability is not weakness. It is the ultimate strength. The act of being vulnerable, of opening your heart, your mind, your soul to the world, takes an immense amount of courage. It means letting go of the walls you've built around yourself, the walls that were designed to protect you but ultimately have kept you isolated. When you choose to be vulnerable, you choose to live authentically. You choose to show up as who you truly are, with all your imperfections, all your scars, all your strength. You stop pretending to be someone you're not. You stop hiding from your true self. Instead, you stand tall. You face the world with all your fears and your power, and you show the world that you are unafraid to be exactly who you are. Vulnerability is what allows true connection. It's what allows you to experience love in its purest form, to engage with others from a place of authenticity, to create deep, meaningful relationships. When you embrace vulnerability, you stop pretending to be perfect. You stop trying to protect yourself from the world, and you start engaging with life fully, living as the fully realized you. No more hiding, no more excuses. There is a version of you that has been waiting to emerge, the person you were always meant to be. They've been there all along, hidden beneath the layers of fear, hurt, and old stories. The moment you decide to step into your power, to take full responsibility for your life and your emotional world, is the moment you give yourself permission to become the fully realized version of yourself. You are not limited by your past. You are not limited by the stories you've told yourself about who you are. You are limitless. You are capable of achieving anything you desire, of becoming anything you choose, of living the life you've always imagined. The only thing standing between you and your fullest potential is the belief that you can't have it. But the moment you embrace your power, embrace your pain, embrace your vulnerability, you will see just how much is possible. The journey to emotional freedom is not a straight line. It's not easy, but it is worth it. It's worth every step, every tear, every challenge. The moment you take ownership of your emotional world, the moment you say, I was hurt, and allow yourself to heal, that is the moment you step into your true power. And that is when you become unstoppable. The moment has come to recognize that the past no longer has control over you. No more hiding, no more running, no more pretending that the pain, the hurt, the wounds you've carried are part of the narrative that defines you. They are simply chapters. Important chapters, yes, but not the whole book. You are not defined by your past, and your future is still unwritten. Emotional freedom isn't a destination. It's a way of being. It's the moment you decide that your pain will no longer be your prison. It's the moment you reclaim your energy, your power, and your worth, not despite what you've been through, but because of it. You have lived with the weight of old stories long enough. You've carried the burden of emotions that were never meant to be yours to hold. And today, you make the conscious choice to let them go. You are no longer a prisoner of your hurt, and you no longer need to live in fear of your own power. Here is the truth. You are the hero of your own story. You have faced your darkness, looked at the pain head on, and refused to be broken. The strength you've built from every setback, every betrayal, every heartbreak has now become the very thing that propels you forward. You have been forged in the fire of your own transformation. So now you step fully into who you are, meant to be a person who is unshakable, unbreakable, and free. Your emotional freedom begins in this moment. The moment you decide to embrace your wounds, to embrace the beauty of your story, and to understand that everything that has happened to you has been a part of your preparation for greatness. Your past no longer has power over you. And with that freedom, you now walk forward, knowing that nothing, no one, and no circumstance will ever hold you back again. You are not the sum of your past pain. You are the sum of your potential. You are limitless. You are unstoppable. The future is yours to create. Live it fully. Live it boldly. Live it from a place of freedom. You are free, and nothing can stop you now.